Good morning, everybody. It's Marty the JavaScript Party. I'm in Marietta, Georgia. It is 36 degrees Fahrenheit outside, so it's cold. I just got done taking the dogs for a nice long walk, and now we are back inside. Rhett did not really want to come out of her cage this morning, so I left her in there. Sometimes she, especially particularly, it's not cold in the house, but she seems to sense that it's cold outside, and she kind of just wants to stay in her cage. Although she does sound a little bit like she wants out at the moment, like she would rather be in here. But when I was trying to go get her, she wasn't quite ready. Um, but it's too late now. Maybe I'll get her before I do my next video. All right, so we are working on my flashcards website, and it's going to make heavy use of voice, at least at first. And it's basically just a system so that I can create flashcards, upload them into it, download them out, and be able to work on them outside of the system and all that. I feel like at first it might be a good way to learn the content that you're trying to learn with flashcards if you're using your voice to create the cards, but maybe not. But anyways, it should be interesting. The general idea is that I'll have a flashcard, two panels. One will be on the left, and that will be the question panel. One will be on the right, and then I'll have a long-running, continuous voice recognition that will be listening for voice cues. So if I say question, it'll highlight the question one. If I say answer, it'll highlight the answer one, and then put like a cursor in a text box, and then as I start talking, it will it'll kind of fill it out, and then I can tweak it with my keyboard, or try to use my voice to fix it. But that is the plan. And then the most important part is then you'd be able to download a JSON file or a CSV file that has all of it in there, all of the stuff in there. And then, I suspect will happen once I get a few of these things going, then it'll be easier just to go to like ChatGPT, show it the format, and say, can you make me some cards about whatever subject? That who knows? We'll see how it all plays out from a domain perspective. But for now, it looks like we installed Cypress, and we created a couple of issues so that I remember what to do, because it's 7 days in between this. Okay, so I'm going to take out this one. So basically, I want to create a Cypress test that checks to see if the flashcard builder is running. So I'm just going to say assign it to myself, and then I'm going to tell it to make me a branch. And then I have this little checkout locally, so I'll hit this button here. I'll copy this, and then I'll come over here to Visual Studio Code, and I'll paste this in here. So that's just the code that I copied out and pasted in there. And now I'm on a branch called Create a Cypress Test that sees that the flashcard builder is running. So now, put our coder hat on, terminal. I'm going to add a second terminal too. Okay. So I think the first thing to do is to go into the UI and get it running. I don't know what's going to take longer. So I guess Flashcard Builder is the UI. So CD Flashcard Builder. I hit FL and then tab, and then dir. Okay, I see my Angular, my package, so npm start, and that should get that going. And then let's see, cd Cypress, dir. Okay, so I think if I remember correctly, I did set up the scripts, but I'm not sure in my package. Yep, so I have a script already here, Cypress:\open, which calls this function. So I'm going to just call that npm run Cypress:\open. And so that should launch my Cypress UI for end-to-end tests. And then I don't think I need this anymore, so I'm going to close. Well, I will need it when I do that. I'm just going to pull it off the screen though. So I have that browser, it's over there. let's see, we've got Cypress open running, and we got this guy. So this guy has run. So here is our default page, and now let's go back over to see what Cypress has to say for itself. So I know that in Cypress, okay, so it doesn't look like we've created a single script yet, a single test. As soon as Cypress open, it does make it pretty easy to kind of use their GUI to create your first test. And once that first test is in place, then it's easy to find what happens. There is a couple steps before you get going, and each one of them kind of takes a little bit of time. But now, just a reminder, I won't be doing a show tomorrow. Going into work, we're going to have a really fun holiday party, so that's nice. And then we have work to do. We have some important stuff happening. Okay, so I want to do E2E testing. I don't really know what component testing is for. And then I know, so then we select what the thing is. And I think in general I want to use Edge, now that I think about it. By habit, I always use Chrome. It's just sort of momentum. But Edge, I think, is for this. So for my Say Hello, I think Chrome is the better browser. But for this, I think Edge is the better browser. But we don't really need it for anything we're doing now. So we can scaffold example specs. I think it goes overboard. At least when I first started, I used this one because it was on the left, and it made a bunch of stuff, and it was way over my head. This was nice and simple and easy to understand. Okay, so I like to put a number based on like where I think it should exist, and this one would be like is running. I haven't really come into like some good patterns yet with Cypress. I haven't been using Cypress. I've been using Cypress for about 6 months now. I like it a lot. I've never used Playwright. I hear Playwright is its kind of number one thing. But as you might have noticed, now we have we have some new stuff in here. And basically what we have is our new is running. And if we look at this, we'll see that it is basically the what we saw here is just written here. Not even basically exactly what we saw here. So now I can say run this spec, and what it'll do is it'll actually go to the Cypress example.cypress.io. I feel like they probably would have been way better off if it was like a www.cypresstest.com or something, because this is, not everybody knows that there's a .io endpoint, so they don't know if that's specific to Cypress. Not everybody necessarily understands that you can have a different sort of, I don't even know what this part is called, but instead of www. So I feel like this did add a couple of unnecessary difficulties. Now I do know, based on what we did yesterday for the Say Hello program, that what I'm gonna want is this. So let's go back over here. I'm not gonna hit save. I'm gonna wait for this thing to finish. For some reason, the first tests take a long time to get started. So like if you're gonna do a demo with Cypress, that's one of the best things about these end-to-end tests, is that it makes certain behaviors and all that much easier to demo. I just can't believe like every sales organization doesn't have like an end-to-end sales demo developer. Okay, so you see we went to this website. So now we hit save, and now it'll go to our website, and it should be a lot faster this time. It is kind of nice. It actually does rebuild it on save. Okay, so now we're at our website, and that is that command. I'm going to add a new one, one of these guys. It's always a good idea to have one that's up above it. I have a real bad habit of trying to do commits inside of it. So let's just look at what we have. I don't think we have much yet. We just have this. So this is the whole thing. So get status, get add, get commit, -M, and this is issue 2. See, I don't think we put the 2 on there. So in what I was working on yesterday, it didn't put. I don't really understand. But issue 2 dash adds the first Cypress test. And that's what we're doing. And now we're going to push that. And then we're going to go back to our GitHub, which is right there. I pulled it off screen. And we are going to go over to pull requests. You can go to pull code or pull requests, and you'll get that. I don't think you'll get this little actions. Yeah. So it's either code or pull requests would be a good place right after you do a push. And you can see that's all my dogs barking, and for some reason my husky does that. I don't know, yodeling, I think people call it. But I should look outside, just make sure. I think they're probably just barking at a cat. Yeah, they're just barking at a cat. My wife is waiting for some very important mail to come. So I'm going to create the pull request. For some reason, this pull request is not assigned to anybody. I think you would typically assign somebody else, and then they would sort of do the review. So then what you do is you look at the file changed. And you see this is the only thing that changed was one file. We added this 001 running CY. And then hit back. And in our conversations, at this point, it's telling us that we don't have any conflicts, so we can merge it. Conflicts would be like if somebody else changed the exact same line. So if somebody else had also added a new file named 001 and had different stuff in it, then it's likely we would have a conflict and we'd have to get that resolved. So I'm going to say merge it. I'm going to confirm that. And then I'm going to delete my branch. They add up so fast if you don't delete them. And then we're good. So when we go to issues, we should have one less issue. Yep. And then we want to remove the default Angular content. So let's go ahead and go through the whole process again. Create a branch. Create it. And we have the checkout locally. Boom. Boom. Control V. Boom. So now we have our new branch. It's got our new, got the data in there because it created it off of my main branch, and my main branch had this new stuff merged into it. So that's what happened. So now we're back. We're on a whole new branch, 001 default. Oh, so I actually did these out of order. That's funny. Okay, so now we want to get rid of the default stuff. So basically, when we go to the default code, it's kind of weird. What else did I have any other thing other than in my issue? Because this should also break the unit tests. And yeah, so I'm just going to do my normal thing where I will check unit tests and check end-to-end tests, and then and do commits along the way. It's kind of a new thing I picked up in my other project. So I'm going to go to this Flashcard builder, hit source, app. First thing I'm going to do is go in here. I'm just going to select everything. Oop, wrong side. Select everything, delete it, and then I'm going to say H1 Flashcard builder. Card builder. And then Now let's just go with a paragraph coming soon. Now, I don't know what happens over here. Oh, so it did actually redraw it there. We also had it redrawn here. All right, so this is that. So this is a code commit. Well, okay, we want to do one other thing too. And this will, I believe, break the unit tests that we have in there. So there's nothing in here, I believe. Yeah, that's empty. And then that is going to be broken here in a second. And then apps. So it created a signal called read-only title called Flashcard Builder. So we're going to delete that. I wonder how they even tested for that. Configure testing model. Oh, okay, that's cool. They actually created a title that we should we should have. So I think we can just take that text and change it. But let's go ahead and do this first, just so we can get sort of the process down. So it's complaining that we have a router outlet, and I'm guessing that's probably, yeah. So we're going to end up bringing this back now, but we do want to get rid of this. And I do want to get rid of this title. We'll probably end up putting a title back in at some point in the future, but for now we have that. All right, so first step is a code commit. And before I do my code commit, I'm just going to look through, make sure I didn't do anything crazy. All right, that looks good. Come down here. Add dot. So I'm using the get add command to stage everything, and then git commit -m, and this is issue number 1. So I did them out of order. I often do that when I make multiple issues, because I always start at the top, and they show newest at the top. So by default, it's probably something you could change, but issue 1 dash removes default Angular code. That's all we're doing. Oh no, okay, so let's go ahead and get reset. I'm trying to get a little more comfortable with this. This always scares the living crap out of me. Okay, so this will undo that commit, because what I really want to do is, and it's not staged, so we're going to do the add again. And what I really want to do is have this in here, code commit. Now I know this isn't going to be a super commit, because I know that I'm confident that the unit tests are going to break. So, and we do not want to push this. We do not want to push it till we are at a good stable spot. And since the unit tests aren't working, I mean, I can't swear to it, but I don't think the unit tests are working. npm run test. Nope. Run. Oh yeah, no, that's right. Run test. So now this should bring up the whole unit test, the whole test scheme. It's probably a good idea at this point to go to the packages file of the flashcard builder packages and close others. So in my other project that I do with the 3JS, I only have the one package file. So I never have to be like, oh, am I sure I'm in the right folder? Am I sure I'm right? You know, that's one of the major benefits. So as you see, oh, okay, where did so it doesn't even have, so I'm in the wrong directory. But I want this, I want to make this call, so I want to go to the right directory, which is inside of Flashcard Builder. So I have a parent npm project, and inside of it there's two projects. One is for Cypress, one is for the Angular application. So now I've navigated into I forgot to navigate into the Angular one and to run the tests, so they didn't run. So keeping that stuff straight in your head goes from being like almost impossible to even like figure out what the heck's going on to so trivially obvious that you can't understand why everybody sees it. It's like one of those things that's just on a pen. Like you can't, and you lose all sort of empathy for people that don't understand what's going on in the inside the packages and being in the right folders and all that. So it's just one of those things you got to pay attention to. All right, so our unit tests. What? Okay, so I don't want. Okay, so, but I want it to. Okay, so it's not doing what I want. I want it to watch for changes, and I want it to create a report. So all this did was run. I don't even think it gave me results. I don't quite understand. Oh, error, no test specified. That is weird. Okay. Watch mode enabled, watching for a child. I don't know what is going on. Okay. I'm thinking something didn't quite get configured right for the unit tests. That usually just works, right? Like, npm run test. Alright, so ChatGPT. Okay, I just installed a fresh Angular project with the CLI. And it's version Angular 21. So it provides in the package. It provides this command. But I want it to watch for changes. I want the unit tests. Changes and generate a report. Generate a coverage report. Okay, which okay, so this is what I want. And it seemed like there was something else wrong too, but I just kind of want to get this one piece at a time. Because it said there was no test specified. No, I've never done anything to specify a test before, so this seems like some kind of change. Okay, so okay. Now I'm saying this. So this is new. Like, this is not how it worked in the last version of Angular. Okay, so I ran npm run test, and I get this error. I might have had to install, I think it's called Istanbul. Let's see. Yeah, we do not have. Really, I don't even see. Yeah, it looks like we didn't. We have VI test. Oh Lord. I wonder what that's all about. And you didn't do anything wrong. The new test, okay, Vite based, yeah, so that's this. Not the classic Karma builder. So it says change this. Oh, instead of code coverage, we want coverage. So it looks like we have a different kind of unit test, VI test, or Vite test. So that is new, and this is why I do this. Because getting on board with this sort of change is like okay, first of all my internals want to fight against this because I spent a lot of time learning Karma and Jasmine and all that stuff. But this is changing. Whatever, it's going to be so much easier to learn the new thing now because it's all getting started. So we're all running into the same problems and all that. In the future, we will have figured some stuff out, and then we will have done some made things like harder to understand, skipping steps and stuff like that. So this is the point. This is the time you want to be doing this. All right, so I changed that, and now let's see what we get. Okay. Okay, now I'm saying this. Did it say everything? Okay, so now I'm getting this error. This, my friends, is what we call the bleeding edge. I imagine they really ticked off a little bit. The next require is telling you what you're missing. Okay. Okay, so we want to install this VI test coverage V8. I wonder what the V8 is all about. What is the dash V8 all about? Question mark. Oh my gosh. I don't know why they just go on and prattle on, it's just like too far. But, I wonder if they have any other one. Okay. So anyways, it looks like I need to do an npm install of something. This guy right here. So I'm just going to copy that. I think it seems reasonable. I feel like ChatGPT used to be a little bit more reliable than it is right now. But, and this is not at all what I was expecting to happen. This is the kind of thing that it happens, and then next thing you know, this has been going on for a couple of years, and you're working on some old version of Angular, and you've never even heard of Vite test, and then you're like out of luck. So now this is installed. I have no idea why they didn't. If they were going to bring in Vite test, why they would not bring that. Oh, maybe it's because of the coverage. I guess it's for the coverage specific. I guess that makes sense. I don't even know what we're going to see. I mean, I have not the vaguest idea of what we're going to see pop up here. So, I don't know. It did not seem to actually test it. I don't know. I don't think anything popped up or anything. Oh, come on, guys. Do we have we don't have a coverage folder. Okay, so I ran it. Pretty sure it should be broken. Application watch mode, and it will watch for changes. question. Okay, so now I ran in npm run test. And this is the thing I hate the most and need most from Angular. Like Angular, they just keep moving forward. Period. And that is just so insanely important. Because they're the messenger. They're not the. I don't really believe they're the cause. All it did was compile the code. I don't see test coverage. Folder. And I'm pretty sure that the default unit test should fail. Wait, not seeing its coverage problem. It's that no, what's really happening, okay. Check this file, app component spec.ts. Okay. Yes. First check this file, okay. And describe app. Okay, so what? Watch equals false. Oh, okay, so apparently I need to make a change before it'll actually run. But see, the thing is it stopped. Oh my gosh. It's so frustrating. There's nothing wrong with it, it's just frustrating. So it's saying if I do this, it'll run it. Okay, it looks like it did run. It says 0 tests passed. Test files 1, tests passed. Okay. Use 2 scripts. ng test watch, and then watch false equals coverage. So do I have a coverage now? Yes, we do have a coverage. So that's good. I don't quite understand this. Oh, that's kind of cool. Now we're actually seeing stuff. Okay, so now I think if I understand what's going on, we want to look for that instead, that name. I'm not 100% sure exactly what's going on here, but. And I like the other one better, but I mean, I like the other one just because I know it better, but maybe this will probably be better in the long run. So let's run the test. So apparently when watch is not set to false, it won't. Okay, so now we're passing. And then we have this coverage folder. There we go. Looks like we are finally cooking. All right, so let's go look at our index.html. So that looks like the old-fashioned one. We have 100% test coverage, so I will call that a done deal. So then we do not want to be in this folder when we do our commit, cd dot. So let's look at everything. So basically what we have done is, and this was much harder than I thought it was going to be. Let's see, do I still have the, yeah. Oh, we removed the Angular default content. So I did I? Oh, yes. And now part 2 is to get the unit tests up to 100%. So that is the second part. And then we're going to want to add a Cypress test that checks for the right text on the title. So anyways, this one will be again, let's just double check that I don't care about much. This one adds a new library, and then this actually fixes the test. So the way I do this is git add. We got to be at the top, so git add dot. If you're not at the top, it might not add everything from if you made changes in like 2 different places. All right, so now we've got everything added, and now this is issue 1, unit test commit. That would have been so much harder if we already had a whole bunch of code built. So if I would just assumed, oh, okay, everything works fine and all that, it's so much easier where we have this one simple little thing going on. All right. Now the third part is our unit test, is our Cypress test. So let's go ahead and get back in this view again. And then if we can get this done, then this will be our super commit. Cypress. See, now I'm wondering, I probably should, when I set this up, I probably should have set it up one higher because I have a Cypress and a Cypress. That was probably a mistake on my part. And I doubled it, so, which is kind of cool because now we can, what am I trying to say? It's kind of cool because now, I'll double punished. I'll get punished for this double time, so I should remember next time. So like how I started to build the Angular up, and then I was like, oh no, the CLI will create its own folder. I should have done the same thing up here. I should have installed Cypress, and then it would have made a Cypress folder and all that, but instead I have 2. Okay, so now that I have one, I know exactly what to do. I can just go, I don't have to use their tool anymore. It was very nice having that tool though. I'm glad it's there. Okay. For now, I'm going to say 002 has title text. I think I'll just text. This is going to be for my general, like, if I'm looking for specific text on the screen, this is the one that does it. And then basically, just to get started, I'm just going to, I know that this is going to be the very first step, so I'm going to do this. And then I think what I'm going to want to do before I get too much farther is make this like a variable that comes from like the fixtures or something like that. So that, you know, I'm not copy and pasting this there. But anyways, I am looking for specific text, right? Okay, so I have this, and I want to look for some specific text on the screen. I think there's like I don't know why they don't do semicolons. CY contains? Has content? Okay, so I have this Cypress code. Test for specific text. Oh, CY contains. Oh, so apparently, I don't know why it's so weird. CY dot contains. And then we want, I feel like I'm just gonna put like ZZZ. And then I think we have a Cypress up and running. Oop, went too far. Okay, so you see we have our new. So that failed. Now we want to try Flashcard Builder. So if the text Flashcard Builder is ever gone, we probably want to go, okay, what did we do here? Yeah, and that passed. Okay, so that is good. I think this would be our super commit. Oh, that's right. That's how I did it. It's not, it's like this. Commit, and then I think I usually put like a dash in here, and then right here I'll put super, and that means that this is a completed set of commits that we can roll to this. And then is this all, I wonder if it's staged. Nope, it has not been staged, so we're going to stage this. And get status, get push, and then that's good. And we're going to come over here to our GitHub and hit reload. And then we are going to go to our pull requests, and we have our new code. We get this thing. I have no idea how you would do that without that, you know, like, because it's always there. One, removed default Angular content. Okay, so we're going to create the pull. I'm going to assign that to myself. I don't think it doesn't make a difference, but I'm going to create the pull request. Just going to take a quick peek at 6 files changed. I'm actually kind of surprised. Okay, so we have our as text flashcard package because we added a new script and a new library. We got rid of a bunch of stuff here. I think this was the one, yeah. Oh yeah, this was our unit tests. Where is app.html? Oh, it's saying, hey, there's just so much stuff because we deleted a ton of stuff. And then we did that. Then that's our test that we did right in here. So we basically, there was already a test, but it was looking for some different text, so we fixed that. And apparently we're using a different kind. We're using Vite test now, which I don't know if that is, if Angular has come out straight up and said, hey, we're going to do a new best practice, but that's in this application from here on out. I'm going to be using Vite test on this application. And man, you know, like this is like a perfect example. Well, here, let me just finish this. This is a perfect example of like What the heck did I just do? Pull requests. Of like every single project is unique. Every single one. They all have a different set of tests and different all kinds of different libraries and stuff like that. And everybody in the enterprise thinks that their application is the norm. And there's no norm. The norm has not been established. It is constantly changing. All right, I want to delete the branch, and now that code is mixed in here. I do not think we have any issues anymore. I think that's a stale. Yeah. So basically, what's next? The next thing we'd want to do is I think what we want to try to figure out. Okay, we want to set up our deployments because this no well because we had some issues with in my last project that I finished up, we had some issues with deployment and specifically around routing. And I would like to get that squared away as early as possible in this process. I don't want to be like at the end and be like, okay, we're all done. And it's like, oh crap, no, it's going to be another month. I think we ended up adding 6 weeks to that project because just to figure out how to get deployments working. So we want to get the remote DreamHost deployment working next. And then after that, we want to do the remote GitHub deployment working. And then we're probably going to want to add, and as part of both of those, we're going to probably want to figure out some way to get the Cypress end test to run at the remote places. And it shouldn't, none of that should be too bad, but it will be like if we get everything working with voice and all that stuff, and we're trying to play stuff, and we're maybe trying to turn on permissions and stuff like that, those will be difficult tasks on their own, and I want to have these simpler tasks sort of already squared away, so that when we hit those difficult tasks, we can just fully focus on those. But anyway, so next, so like in yesterday's project, I didn't add the number here, and then it didn't show up in the branch, so I don't understand what's going on here. But set up DreamHost deployment. So basically, changes. So yeah. So basically, what we want to do is, I don't know exactly how to do that in here, but probably not going to do it in here. But set up the FTP. Okay. The domain says FTP. And it's SFTP. And and Cypress to what are we going to call this? Flashcard.ilikeemail.com, or maybe it's probably www.ilikeemail.com/flashcard. This was the problem, right? And I wouldn't have problems with any issues if I made it flashcard.ilikeemail.com, but I do want to have those problems because I want to understand them. And I also want to host it out at GitHub as well. And when you host it at GitHub, you cannot put it up on the top like that. So assign to yourself, and I think. Yeah, so we'll need a special build that knows how to see. Well, we may not need it at this point, but we probably want to set up a special build next week. So who knows if I'll remember that next week. I probably won't. But anyways, here we go. Yeah, we will need a branch for this. seems weird. See, it doesn't have the. Okay, which issue is this? I don't understand that. I don't freaking. Okay, and this is. This is issue number 5. I don't know why that didn't show up. I don't know. Maybe it did. Maybe. Let's see. Create a branch. Will it tell me what the branch is? See, okay, so it did put the 5 in the branch. I don't think my other project does that. I don't think it puts the issue number in the branch. Maybe I changed it. I don't know. We'll see. Check out locally. Copy. Control V. Okay. So next week I'll know that, oh, I'm trying to set up a DreamHost deployment. I have a few more extra details in the in GitHub for myself to be able to understand. So anyways, happy coding, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Bye.